What it is, y'all? It is your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at you today with more Danmachi. Now, today we're going to be talking about the new 7th zone, specifically Dark Zone, because I think Dark Zone is going to be one of the more interesting ones. Now, normally, I like to keep this to newer units. There's going to be a minor exception to today's video. Now, we are going to mostly focus on newer units, and don't get too excited about Finn. I'm actually going to avoid using Finn, because my Finn, I know, is going to decimate this. He's going to laugh at it. He's not going to have any problems with it. But we're going to meme a little bit because we got a lot of Haruhime on the team. So let's introduce the team, talk about this and why we're going to pick this team. And a little bit of a failure, but I'll get to that here in a moment. First of all, OG Haruhime, she's like on every team, guys. Every team. And of course, we've got the Finn assist attached to her. That's just to give everybody the 66% SA gauge charge total, because in slot 3 we're going to have Line. Finn does 33%, Line does 33%. Since adventures and assists don't cancel each other out, you know, like when when adventures give multiple buffs, whoever has the largest buff gets to keep it. So in other words, when you have units that give 100% buff, obviously Line's 33% is canceled out, they get 100%. But when it comes to assists and adventures work differently. So Line is going to give us 33%, and then Finn's going to give us 33%, and that's basically going to just give us a ton of everything right across the board. Now, that's slot 1. Slot 2, we've got the new Bell. Now, the new Bell is really, really, really amazing. But unfortunately, I've not chased him. And the reason I've not chased him is simply because he is not time limited. I'm focusing all my free-to-play Iris on the time-limited units to see what we can pick up. And I believe we're gonna finish off our summons tonight, maybe on stream. I'll have to see how that works out, because I do have about another 1,000 Iris to farm up before that happens. But that's not going to be a huge issue, to be honest with you. But the new Bell is really, really, really good, but because I've been focusing so much on the time-limited units, I've not been chasing him, and he's in the general pool, so really didn't go too deep into that banner. Because that mine's only +1. But I like creating these, so most people that have like free-to-play teams can really kind of assess how they want to address this. So I really feel like Bell is going to be a great fit on this team. Now, he does have the Maxima Broken Hestia. I get all the names messed up, apparently. Bleh. Hestia assist. The Wedding Hestia. Now, Wedding Hestia gives 20% magic, and this Bell is a magic unit, so naturally they kind of go hand in hand. Bell really doesn't have any personal buffs, so he's going to be relying on the 2 Haruhimes on the team to give him the buffs. And believe me, even without the light Haruhime, he still is hitting pretty decently. So I cannot wait to see what he does with her. Now, slot 3, and I will say also, if you don't have this Hestia Maxima Broken, that's fine. She still does 15% magic. You can actually sack her if you've got better units. Now, slot 3, we already talked about Line. She's going to come in, do her first turn, and then, boom, she's going to be sacked. She's going to come out. She's going to bring in Finn. But I do have the Seer Assist on her that does light damage. She does 15% light damage, even though she's not max limit broken. So if you have her, use her. If you have her max limit broken, even better. But if you don't have her max limit broken, don't worry. Like, I'm tying mine to my sack unit. Turn 1, she's gone. But both Eyes and Bell are going to get their light damage, and it's going to be absolutely fine. In fact, I'm going to do one little thing here. I'm going to swap this up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put Light Haruhime in the front. Sounds weird, but we're going to try this out. All right? Now, big reason I'm going to try that out, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now, I do have Eyes in slot 4, and I have the Hestia that does AoE damage on her. The reason I'm focusing so hard on these Hestias is because we just got all of those Hestias, all the non-time limited Hestias in the game were just given to us. Just 100% given to us. So we're good to go in that regard. We have nothing really to worry about there. If you don't have the Maxima Broken, that's fine. You don't need the Maxima Broken for this, as you'll see when we get in here. I'm suspecting we're going to easily S-clear this. And if I can S-clear this without these units, with these units max limit broken, you could probably clear it very simply without them. So don't worry too much about the levels of my assists. Okay? Pay close attention to the two main units that we're focusing on. That's Bell and Eyes. We're going to focus on them predominantly. In fact, I'm going to kind of take my Light Haruhime out of the equation. She's going to do one thing, and then she's going to kind of be out to really focus on what these two are capable of by themselves. Same with Finn. Slot 5, I've got the Maxima Broken Record Buster Finn. Now, Finn would ruin this event. Finn would laugh at this event. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe you don't have Finn. Or maybe you've got Finn and not Eyes, or whatever combination you want to use. I am not using Finn for the majority of his skills. I'm literally using for his physical and light debuff, and then he's gone. That is the predominantly what I'm using it for. Now, the only downside is I don't have a magic reduction assist on this team, but I really honestly feel like maybe Eyes might be doing more of that. So we're really going to focus on this team this way. And you notice that even though I normally use the Artemis assist that gives maximum physical damage, I really kind of want to balance physical and magic on this one. So that's kind of why I'm doing it this way. Now, I do have Apollo on Finn, and like I said, I'm going to sack Finn. He's just going to come in and do the debuff. He's not really doing damage, so he's gone. I don't want to use a bunch of maximum broken units to just wreck this event. Way too easy. We'll kill it in 7-8 turns and then laugh and move on with our lives. I want to show you guys a team that maybe you can build and that might help you out if you're having problems building this. Now, obviously, this is not the only build you could do. There's lots of other builds. In fact, the Seer assist that I'm using and the Apollo assist that I'm using, even though they're not max limit broken, there's lots of other units you can use that do light. Light's got, I think, actually, I take it back. I think Seer's, no? I don't remember off the top of my head now, but I know Light has a good number of assists that you can swap and mix up. If you have one max limit broken, obviously focus on that because it's going to give you the best stats. But neither one of these two are max limit broken, so I'm going to focus on them and try to use them to produce the damage needed to get this job done. Now, I moved OG Haruhime to slot 5. Slot 1 now is going to be Light Haruhime and the MP Restoration Haruhime. That's going to be really, really, really important. MP Restoration Haruhime is going to come in clutch, especially for Bell and for Eyes. We're gonna have to focus on protecting our MP because they run out real quickly. But by turn 10 they're done. They're out of steam. So I'm gonna use her to try to produce a little bit more damage over the long run of the game. But let's go ahead and jump in here and focus on this. Now, first things first, the Light Haruhime. Let's see, allies, light attack, 33%. That's going to be really good for Bell. He needs that. On Bell, I'm going to go ahead and do his 35% debuff. Since OG Haruhime isn't here, we're going to need that debuff early. We're going to do 33% of Say charge, of course, with Line. And with Eyes, we're going to go ahead and do the AoE debuff and the guard rate debuff. Just come out of the gate with as much as we can to try to get some of this done really early in game. Bam. Bam. Okay. Oof. Eyes, do not die, please. Girl. Maybe this won't work. Maybe I have to put OG Haruhime on the front. Let me restart this. Because either I wasn't paying close enough attention. Either Eyes just got singled out and murdered, or just for whatever reason, they're not going to survive it. So I might have to put OG back on the front. But this is a little trial and error, so let's try this one more time here. We are, of course, going to focus on doing all the buffing. Let's see if Eyes just seems to just get targeted, or what's the deal. No, Eyes seems to actually fall apart. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to have to put the OG Haru in the front. We're not going to have a choice in this one. So, unfortunately, that was a failed attempt. Let's go ahead and swap these two back out and just do it this way. So, in that case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to have OG Haru do her debuff, and I'm going to have Bell just do skill 2. Main reason I'm going to do that is because Bell is then going to get the extra low light magic attack on top of his one attack. Then the next turn, he's going to get a magic attack that's going to basically assist him on that. Okay? So we're going to do that. And we're going to do 33% SA gauge charge with Line. And with Eyes, we're we're going to go ahead and do her debuff one more time. Now, the nice part with OG Haru is Yosuga is a bit of a heal, and OG Haru has that counter heal, so that's going to help Eyes not be dead. Plus the 40% versus 35%. You wouldn't think 5% makes that much of a difference, but that is a big difference in debuff. Okay, so we do skill 3 with Haru. With Bell, I'm going to go ahead and do his base level magic attack here. He's not buffed. He's going to get an extra attack, so I think this is plenty for him. Now, we're going to go ahead and do physical resist and light resist minus 30%. Skill 1 with Finn, and then after this turn, he's gone. And then with Haru, we're going to go ahead and do skill 2. It's kind of her biggest, best attack. So we're going to do that. Now, skill 3 is going to bring in the light Haruhime, and we're going to do something a little special with her. Boom. As you can kind of guess, we are going to buff with her, but I'm not going to try to do crazy damage with her, because she can. She can hit like a truck, but she's mostly here for her buffs, so we're going to focus on using her for her buffs. I am going to go ahead and do Sheikah on this turn. I'm going to go ahead and go back to Glitter Stroke. That's basically, if you go down here, whenever you're dealing with these units that do extra damage, you'll see down here it says, additional actions, Glitter Stroke, 1 turn. He actually won't get that on this turn. He's going to buff that again. So he's basically, when he does the 2 extra turns, that starts from the following turns. This being turn 3, Glitter Stroke is going to happen on turn 4 and 5. So what I need to do is I need to rebuff it this turn, and he'll get that extra one from previous. So in other words, he'll get the extra one on turn 3, that buff will come into play, or the extra turn will come into play on turn 4, turn 5 will have to buff it again. Pretty straightforward stuff. I kind of described it in a confusing way, but trust me, it works out. Okay? Now, the Light Haru is going to get her a light buff off, and let's just make sure, yeah. No, we're not running out of anything. Everybody's going to be cool. Everybody's going to be pretty cool. Sheikah is really important to do with Haru early, because we're going to need those counters to survive. And I didn't mention it before, but like always with 7th Zone, we are running the stun anklet on everybody. Just make sure they don't get stunned, because they will get stunned and will kind of hate life. All right. Bam. Bam. Perfect. Now I'm going to go after a double SA. Sounds weird, but I'm going to go after a double SA here. So with the Light Haru, well, okay, with OG Haru, I'm going to go back and do Yosuga. Light Haru, I could go in here and do a bunch of attacks, but I'm going to be real. I'm going to go ahead and just do a base level attack. She's single target anyway, so she would kind of like mess things up. So I'm going to do a base level attack with her. I mean, you could bounce around and do like a little bit of attack damage per unit. I'm not really interested in that. We've got 33% SA gauge charge, so we're going to get an SA pretty quickly. So we're just going to focus on getting a double SA with her. So we're going to go skill 3, base attack, skill 2. Hopefully you kind of see my strategy here. If not, it'll make more sense here in just a minute. Alright. Now, I have tried doing the old method we tried before with our other units, and that is spamming SAs, but unfortunately it didn't work with these units. My units just weren't strong enough. Now, if they each had an extra bond, it would have worked. If they each had, if I maxed them out in the Ascension system, they would have worked. I was that close to beating it. That's with what we did last time with Reveria and Casino Seer on the end. But I'm aware a lot of people probably don't have Casino Seer. She's at this point a little bit of an older unit. Harder to come by, hasn't been around like on a featured banner in a very long time. Now we have done a lot of summons, maybe people have her, but I wanted to try something a little different. Plus, what Light Haru does here is just inexcusable, just not to use her. So we're going to continue. So skill 3, we're going to go back. Remember, we got to rebuff Glitter Stroke. So we're going to do skill 3, skill 2. Once again, base level attack, and skill 2. Let's go. Now, I probably, honestly, with Eyes, should just be doing base level attacks here. But I think we're going to be SAing so often after this, it's not going to make too much of a difference. Though she is running really low on MP, so I might have messed up. Probably with how low her stats are, I maybe could have beaten this faster had I been doing base level attacks up till now. So in this turn, I'm going to do Special Arts with OG Haru and Special Arts with the Light Haru. Now, Light Haru is going to do a foe singular to one of these units. I'm not really worried about which one it is. I'm going to go ahead and target the one with the lowest health. This one right here. The biggest thing she does, though, is allies 40% HP regen and light attack damage 80%. So if you're paying attention, everybody's going to get 80% light attack, and everybody's going to get 100% strength and or magic. Well, technically both, but whichever one they use. So this should get fun. Now, because it is turn 6, I'm going to actually go back down here, and I'm going to do a base level attack with Belle. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do Rainbow Cascade. Yeah. The one thing that is going to start becoming very apparent is that these units are debuffing us. And so, from this point on, we need to pay attention to those debuffs and start removing those so we can actually do some damage. Another reason why I say Eyes was kind of wasting her efforts up to this point. So really, honestly, the more I think about it in hindsight, Eyes should have been doing base attacks along with Belle. In fact, where Belle was rebuffing that extra attack, he didn't hurt his MP very much. Eyes is hurting her MP a little bit. So I may have made a major mistake there. But we'll see. We'll see. An Escalier still isn't out of the realm of possibility, though it is starting to look a little more bleak. Alright. Now, it wasn't impressive damage, I'm aware. Wasn't really the point. Not what we were after with these units. Alright. Whenever you're done, I wait for y'all. There you go. Alright. So on this turn, we're going to do... Once again, we're going to go back to doing skill 3 with OG Haruhime. We're going to do skill 2 with Belle. That's going to be Glitter Stroke. We need to make sure that we rebuff that every odd turn. So it's a turn 7, so we're going to buff that. We're going to go back doing base attacks with the Light Haru. And we're going to keep doing skill 2 with Eyes. Mainly because we don't have to re-debuff. They don't remove their debuffs. So once they're in place, they're kind of in place. So Eyes is basically just spamming skill 2. That's all she's doing. Alright. So let's go. And the goal is now to build up a double SA gauge and do a double SA with, with Belle and Eyes. And even though Eyes does have a bit of a lead on him because she's +2 instead of where Belle's +1, they're going to do, I'm suspecting they're going to do probably about the same amount of damage. I don't know if I'm honest, but that's my suspicion. Okay? We're going to do Rainbow Cascade on this turn, and basically just spam it. Go. Boom. Boom. Alright, so turn 9 is going to be a double SA. So I'm thinking an S-Clear is outside of the realm of possibility now. And that is unfortunate, but a win is in the bag, I would dare say. Alright, so once again, OG Haru, skill 3. We're on an odd turn, so we're going to do Glitter Stroke. Let's go. So I think I said turn 9 for the SA. We're going to do turn 10. And unfortunately, are they debuffed? They're not debuffed. But turn 11, not turn 10. Okay. Got ahead of myself. So in this turn, I'm going to do Rainbow Cascade. That is going to remove basically any debuffs I'm going to put on... What this does is it does, obviously, strength and magic minus 35%. We're not worried about that because that debuff is inevitable, or is kind of obsolete compared to the 40% that OG Haruhime does. But ally status debuff minus 2 turns. Now, they debuff for 3 turns, which basically means if they debuff before Belle gets that attack off, which they should, then basically at the end of this turn, it's gone. Now, if they debuff after that, it sucks, but hopefully we're not going to have that problem. Let's just see what happens here. Boom. Boom. All right. So, please don't debuff us. All right, no debuff thus far. Perfect, no debuff. So on this turn, I'm going to go ahead and do Special Arts. Now, this is going to kind of mess up our stack with Belle. The whole reason being, Belle won't do an extra action on SA turns, so we're going to double SA. Notice we do not have debuffs with Haruhime, with Eyes. Keep messing up names. Eyes and Belle. You would know it because here at the bottom they'd have like the little S&M icon that's up there at the top, it would have a red arrow down. We don't have that, so we're good to double SA. Let's see what they do. Now, once again, I am going to go ahead and admit I am not building the SA gauge charge as quickly as I'd like, so an S-clear is now, I want to say, out of the question. But let's see what happens here. Because there's not really many major debuffs that are relevant that are going to happen on this, so yeah. And because their levels are fairly low, yeah, I think that's a rip. I don't know, maybe. Ooh, that was actually pretty good. Way to go, Eyes. Now, obviously, like I said, if I had Finn here, Finn would have already killed this. Like, it would have been done. We would have gotten one SA off with Finn and pretty much then just hammered down on him, and that would have been a done deal. I'm not really interested in doing that because, once again, then people that lack that unit don't really have a recourse. So I'm going to go ahead and do skill 2 with the 2 of them. I'm going to go back to do Sheikah with Haruhime, OG Haruhime, just to make sure that she kind of gets her thing. Now, obviously, I'm not doing damage with Light Haru. If I want to do damage with Light Haru, if you have Light Haru, if you use Light Haru, your best bet is to actually go bounce around unit to unit, just do a different target each and every turn, and just get an even amount of damage out of there. Haru's just here for the buff. Once she did the buff, she was kind of out of the picture. I wasn't worried about her. I really wanted to see what Bell and Eyes could do by themselves. And actually, this far, I'm pretty happy. I'm not going to lie. They're doing very respectably for 2 units that, frankly, are kind of lacking at this juncture because they just don't have the bonds. So that was Glitter Stroke. We're going to go ahead and do Rainbow Cascade. I might do Glitter Stroke again. Yeah, I think I'm going to do Glitter Stroke again. Then I'm going to do an Eyes SA and just see what happens. Let's go and do let's see. Do we need to do Yosuga? Let's see what their buffs are like. No, I don't think we need to. I really don't think we need to. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do Rainbow Cascade just to get... You know what? I'm going to actually do Glitter Stroke one more turn. And the reason I'm going to do Glitter Stroke one more turn, hear me out. If they debuff Eyes in this turn, then that gives me, yeah. Then I've got turn 14, I can remove those debuffs. Turn 15, I can SA with Eyes. Maybe we can still eke this S-clear out. Let's see. Let's give it a shot. We never know until we try. Now, you can already see the one that we attacked with Light Haru. That one's already gone. So we're not, exactly what I said was going to happen would happen. So they debuffed us. So let's go ahead and do Rainbow Cascade. Boom. And like I said, if you were just going unit to unit to unit to unit and attacking with Light Haru, this would have been a no-brainer. But, again, I didn't want to kill him that quickly. She's maxed limit broken. I want to give these 2 units the best chance they've got to make this happen. So let's go ahead and do our debuff on this turn, and then let's SA on the next turn. We might actually have this. We may actually be able to do this. I know if I target that one on the end with Light Haru, we're going to have it. But I'm just going to see what happens here. Let's go ahead and do Glitter Stroke one more time. And let's see. Will we get lucky? Will we get the S-clear? If we do, it's going to be by the skin of our teeth. But I'm actually interested at this point. We got the S-clear! Alright. I had actually given up hope on that early on. So that shows you the power of this team. And yes, I was sandbagging the team a little bit. Like I said, I wasn't using Light Haru to her fullest extent. I wasn't using my max limit broken units. I was definitely holding back my damage. No, we didn't break 10 mil. But we got the S-clear. That's 10 Iris, plus the Iris we get here. So there you go. If you could build a team even remotely like this, you could get an easy S-clear on this event. So I'd say go do that. Go have fun with it, guys. It's an easy win. Yeah, I got no other words, man. I'm color me shocked. So once again, we're only really fighting with Eyes and with Bell. Now, once again, Light Haru for her SA really came in clutch. That 80% light damage makes a huge difference. Without that, And with just doing the double SAs, I was not able to beat it. So this is relying on her a bit. I won't lie. But like I said, I've also done a test with any unit that does 100% SA gauge charge here, and the 100% SA gauge charge from Casino Seer. Just basically replace this last one with that exact same rotation here. In fact, let's just go ahead and grab Riv, for example, just because she's survivable. She'll do the job. And Casino Seer. This was the team I tried before. Now, this team literally came where we were on turn 14. That's where we were with this team on turn 19. So if you have an extra bond in Bell, an extra bond in Eyes, they would be able to do that too. So that's another option on the table for you. But obviously, if you've got any of these units back, some are broken, you ain't even worried about that. Or once again, like I said, if you happen to ascend them. Though, honestly, for me, not one of those units. Like, Eyes is most often a sack for me, so I haven't ascended her. Bell was really good for War Game, but unfortunately, like I said, I haven't chased him, so it's not worth it for me. But hopefully this gives you guys some hints and things you can do to build this team and maybe get you an S-Clear. So that is going to be the video, y'all. Definitely let me know what you guys thought in the comment section down below. As always, hit that old thumbs up button if you did enjoy this, and maybe if it helped you out a little bit. And I want to mention we do have not only my Discord, we have a new Discord in the description down below, another Danmachi channel that you guys can join. Lots of tips, lots of hints, very knowledgeable people there. Make sure you go check that out as well. Other than that, that is the video. Catch you guys on the next one.